Mikaela, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Um, so I obviously know a bit about your background. Like I know you came from CrossFit, or you were doing CrossFit before this, but I don't know much about what you were doing as a child. Like, what's your sporting history? Can you give us a bit of your background?
Yes. So as a child, I played football and then I played basketball for 10 years, actually. So basketball is my main background. But after 10 years, I had to quit because I got a herniated disc in my
Hmm.
back. So I was like losing total control on my left leg and I had so much pain, could barely move. So I had to quit that, unfortunately. And when I got a bit better, I started running a little bit, but I couldn't because my leg and my back didn't like it at all. And that's actually how I got into CrossFit, because then I needed to be stronger and I needed to visit a gym for the first time. So, and when I started gym training, then I wanted to start competing in something. And then I know about CrossFit, but I had never tried it. Now it feels like I'm starting a new question, maybe. But yes, so basketball is my main background.
But you moved into CrossFit like with your back issues. That you moved into CrossFit perfectly fine, or did you find that it actually
No,
helped with your back?
no, it didn't help. I started gym training, and but I couldn't stand with not competing. I'm so competitive, and I wanted to try like some kind of track and field, but I was too old. It was only like child groups, and I felt like I couldn't train with like 5 years old. And so I met a guy that introduced CrossFit to me and introduced it and said that you could compete in it. But I had never tried weightlifting. I had never tried anything with gymnastics. I had like a 40-kilo back squat, but I was like, what the hell? This must be the biggest challenge. So from that day, I just decided I'm going to be competitive in CrossFit. So I just started training a lot and yeah, learned all the movements. And yeah, my back got better and better and better. And yeah, so that's actually how I got into CrossFit.
Okay, wow. So you appear to have a very good engine, like endurance levels. Do you feel like that primarily came from playing basketball when you were younger?
I mean, yeah, of course, basketball must have been a good start for that, but it's also like what we genetically
Hmm.
made for, I think. I mean, I'm even though I have done maybe something else or so, I would probably be like better at endurance anyway. You know, some people tend to get strong very fast, and some people tend to get the engine easier. But yeah, we run, and I mean, basketball is pretty much about engine, but also a lot about skill. But yes, I think absolutely that helped me.
Okay. So and you've been to the games in CrossFit, yeah, as a team.
Yeah, actually, last summer.
Okay. Wow. How was that experience?
Oh, it was amazing. It was really, really amazing. I thought it would be amazing, but it was like 10 times better than that. We had yeah, such a good time and I had such a good experience. So, yeah, so the thought was of course to do CrossFit this season, but yeah, life changed, so to
You found a
say.
new love.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was going to ask about that. So it was your first race where you came in to HYROX and you broke the world record on your first race. That couldn't have been too long after your CrossFit Games experience, could it?
No, so I got introduced to HYROX and I was of course very interested in it because I just love everything about it. And when I first heard about it, but of course I've done CrossFit for like 10 years, and that was my main sport, and just been to the games and started planning my season and everything. And then we were like 16 people from Sweden going to HYROX competition in Hamburg.
Hamburg.
Yes, and we went there to try it, just just for fun. And so I went in there with like no expectations at all, actually. And it's I came from the competition with a new world record. So on my flight back home, I was thinking like, maybe I should change sport. But it wasn't an easy decision to say. It wasn't easy at all. But I realized that it would be hard for me to do both
Yeah.
because I'm just so much of an all-in person. If I go for something, I go for it 100%.
So you're
And
100% HYROX now, are you?
yeah, I
Okay.
am. It took a while, and I was like 50-50 for a while. But when I realized that HYROX didn't make me a better CrossFit athlete, actually, and CrossFit helped HYROX a bit, but it was still like one foot in each world. So I just decided that for me it's better to focus on something. So I decided that this season will be all about HYROX. And so that's my decisions right now. But think as life change all the time, you know. So but right now that's the main focus. Yes.
Do you feel like HYROX is better suited to you than CrossFit at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been best at in CrossFit, the engine stuff and the longer stuff and everything that is like pure work capacity
Hmm.
and grind work.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I think I found a sport that is just pure capacity, grind work, and yeah, and also more running. I've always loved running.
Okay.
So
Um,
yes.
can I ask you a bit about, like, obviously you had to pull out of the HYROX World Championships in Manchester because of your health issues, and can I ask a bit about that? Like, it looks like you've recovered now. You're competing again. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good. It had been a really, really, really tough time for me. So in February, I got a diagnosis with myocarditis, which is like inflammation um, in the heart muscle. And yeah, life changed pretty dramatically. So spent weeks at the hospital, and it was 3 months where I just had to go for walks. And it, of course, from being used to train like 5 hours a day to be forced to do like absolutely nothing and just go easy walks. It took almost a month before I could like just get even being able to go walks.
Wow.
It was very much about resting, and it was very, 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 very tough. Um, but I would say that the hardest part have actually been the mental part. More you can I felt like I could pretty quickly like accept the situation, and that the best thing I could do is to like follow doctor orders and take the rest and everything. But the hardest parts have always been the mental part, like not trusting the body, sometimes like doing walks and like constantly watching my heart rate at my watch,
Hmm.
being scared like what will happen now, because I have so little knowledge about about this kind of sickness.
Hmm.
I mean, I've had all kinds of injuries during my days, like literally everything. And but this is something else. This is like you only get one heart, and this is what keeps you going as a human. And I was like constantly afraid that it would dramatically be worse, so it would affect the rest of my life, like not being able to push myself again, not being able to compete, not being able to train the way I want when I get older. So it was like more about those life questions and being afraid that I've done too much. Could I really walk this much? How's my heart now?
Hmm.
So it was so many questions daily and so much like panic attacking and feeling chest pain, but you don't know if it's like panic attack or if it is actually chest pain. And in the middle of everything, they also thought that I had some kind of, I don't know what's it called, like things in my lungs that, like blood clogs in my lungs.
Right.
So in the middle of all this, they had to like, yeah, see if that was also a possibility, but luckily it wasn't.
Wow.
So it was a false alarm. But yeah, so a lot of forth and back to the hospital, and also had like a very, very low immune system. So it felt like I easily got sick from whatever. So it was almost 2 months like meeting zero people, only my family. And because I couldn't go out, I couldn't just live normally because I just got sick of everything. So more than just the myocarditis and the sickness, it have been like it's everything around more, I would say.
Yeah, that must have been
And
tough. Are you out of that now? Like, presumably, you still have some fear, do you, when you're training? Is it, or is that ongoing?
yeah, so when I started training, I realized that coming back physically would be easier than coming back mentally,
Yeah.
for sure. So when we started training, I struggled so much with trusting my body. I got panic attack all the time, like and every evening, it felt like I felt like a guilt that I
Hmm.
had trained, like it was forbidden.
You've done
And
something naughty.
yeah, and I was so scared all the time, and we checked constantly like with blood tests and everything, but I felt like I wanted someone to check me daily, like because I felt like I really didn't want to take a step back. I only wanted to take step forwards. And it's so hard also to talk with doctors because they have unfortunately like zero knowledge about elite athletes.
Hmm.
So it was so hard also to like get her to understand what training is for me and what kind of level we actually talk about.
Yeah.
So but it had been very, very hard trusting my body. So it had been a long process. So even though I follow doctor's order and like follow the intensity, increasing it slowly and everything, I've like constantly bearing a big fear
I
just
can see
because
that.
I've been so scared. And but like 2.5 weeks ago, I got a clearance from my doctor that I'm healthy. So I did my first competition like 2 weekends ago, actually. So it was like a celebration of health, and
I
yeah,
bet
so
that
that
felt good.
it was amazing. It was so much fun, but it was very, very hard mentally for me. Just because I couldn't compete for a long time. And I also did a sport that I never done before. I
Hmm.
tried the Deca Fit. Um, and it was so much fun, but I was so nervous, and I had a tough time after the competition also, just because I was just scared, because I'd pushed myself with high intensity for a longer time than I've done in training. But it went well. I won the competition actually, so it was a great way to start my way back. So I had an amazing experience for sure.
Amazing. And I guess that those experiences help with the fear going forward. Like, you know, you've come through that, you did well, you performed well. That must support you in like reducing that fear for future events, I would imagine.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And that was like the main purpose, because it have always been like I need to test it and then feel how do I feel afterwards. That's like the only way to see if it's okay for my body.
Hmm.
So, and that have also been like we've been increasing intensity a little bit and then evaluate like how do I feel? Is this okay? And then increasing a little bit more and then how do I feel? But this was like the end state of testing how does my body feel after like really pushing myself. And yeah, of course I was tired, but you always are after competition, but it was a good tiredness.
Yeah, good.
So it was actually it was great, I think, also to do a competition pretty soon, to like just kick it off and feel like yes, I am healthy now and I'm ready to kick off this season.
Good. Do they know what caused it? I think that type of thing can be caused by a virus, can't it? Just a random virus. Is that what they think?
Yes, but we haven't really like figured out exactly um, what really caused it. But I think that the sickness I had was COVID. I think so,
Right.
but I don't know, because I've read so much about similar people that got in a similar situation, that they got sick and then they felt healthy, good, and then they train and then they got this myocarditis. So, and that's what we also seen like with COVID, that it's very, very, the symptoms can be like just normal sickness, but there is something else, and it's also easier for COVID, I think, to um, affect the heart,
Hmm.
because we've seen so much more heart problematics and everything since COVID came. So actually, I also had like airways cathar, like some infection in the airways, simultaneous with all this. But my doctor here in Sweden, they said just like, oh, it's just asthma. So they gave me like an asthma medication because I had problem breathing, but it didn't help. And I felt good. I trained and everything, but it was after a training day. I felt like I really needed someone to check my heart. It was like a gut feeling.
Okay.
I felt good, but I had this gut feeling that maybe something isn't really good that I don't know about. So I actually went to the emergency, because no one, because my doctor here, like the house doctor, they said that it's just asthma or something. We just wait and see. So that was the only help I could get. So I actually went to the emergency that evening after my training day. And said that I need someone to check my heart because something doesn't feel like 100%. Then they checked it, and then I went straight to the hospital and was in bed for 3 months, so to
Wow.
say.
Wow.
So they checked it, and then they saw that with the blood test and everything that something is wrong, and we need to check this more clearly. So it was like dramatically from like training that day to going directly and at the hospital. So they put me in a hospital right away that evening. So I'm very happy that I actually trusted my gut feeling, because what would have happened if I wouldn't have like listened to it?
Yeah.
Just because I felt okay, but it was just this feeling. So what would have happened if I continued training for weeks? It would probably been so much worse
Yeah.
than it was now. So now I got like a smaller heart muscle inflammation. Uh, so I'm happy that I went to the emergency that evening for sure.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're on the road to recovery, and you've got the all clear. Um, if we shift a little bit,
Yeah.
and I guess like if we talk about your training at the moment, I guess you're still in transition to a certain extent from coming out of that. You mentioned previously that you were training like 5 hours a day. Um, are you doing that again? And do you feel like you need to do that for HYROX, or was that more for CrossFit, and because there's so many skill elements in CrossFit, are you still like high volume training?
Yeah, I'm around that time now in training. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And is that, what does that look like? Is there a lot of that like zone two, like easy cardio, or is it, yeah, what does that look like?
So my coach usually split it into 3 sessions a day.
Okay.
And of course it differs a lot from day to day, but usually something in AM is intervals or so to work. And then midday is some kind of strength or power. And then the last session is usually some kind of sprint work on machines, or um, it could be more running, or it differs from day to day.
Okay. And this is 6 days a week, 5 days a week?
6 days a week.
All right. All right. Do you work as well? Is this your full-time gig?
I wish so. Time wise, yes. But no, I'm an accountant also.
Okay.
So part time as an accountant.
Okay.
Um, yes.
All right. Did I see you recently started working with a new coach, or?
Yes, exactly. So it was actually pretty, it's Alex Vidala,
Mhm.
and it's actually a pretty funny history, like how I found him, because when after my sickness, when I was going back, I was like just programming for myself, so I didn't have a coach, because I felt like the best way to come back is just to every day listen to my body and listen to what I can do and what I feel like doing. So I first 2 months I just programmed for myself, but I felt like I still needed a coach, and I wanted someone that is more into HYROX, because my last coach was my CrossFit coach. Even though when we started more HYROX, it was still my CrossFit coach,
Mhm.
and he's amazing. He's a really, really good coach. But he also felt like he was more into CrossFit, and would be maybe better for me to have someone more into HYROX or more into some kind of hybrid training. And when I was programming for myself, I was starting studying a lot, even though I've done like so much studying with training, and I'm a personal training. I've been working with training and everything. I felt like I really wanted to understand more about like the running, more about everything. So I was reading a lot, internet and books and everything. And then I found this PDF that was about a guy that have had like a long history of going into hybrid training from the questioning that you can't do strength and running and do both and actually improve from it. And I read that PDF and I felt like this guy knows shit. Yeah, and I was so inspired of him. So I actually Googled him. And then I wrote to him on Instagram. And then we started speaking, and that's Alex. So, and we just, both of us, we just are a thinker and so analytical as persons. So we just couldn't stop talking with each other. And we just felt like now we have to do something. We have to do something together. So then we started. So I've been coached by him now for, I think this is the fourth week. So it's very, very, very
Okay.
new. And I'm so happy. I really got like a new happy feeling for training, and yeah, so I'm super happy with Alex.
Good, good. Um, I often talk when I talk to the elite guys on here. We sometimes talk about some of their numbers, like their strength numbers, their running numbers, and like if you're happy to share, what might you run a 5K or a 10K or a half marathon in? Do you know what that might be?
I have no idea.
Is that just purely because that's
I
like
haven't
not
tested that for a long time.
okay?
Just like a pure 5K, 10K test. So I can't say it. Actually, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
But
that's fine.
my best 10K is 39 minutes, but that was long ago, and I haven't tested since then. And 5K I haven't tested either. So, but I can get back to you if we test it.
Well, yeah, yeah. If
So
you do test
I'm
it, let
sorry, I can't say it actually.
no. How about your strength numbers? Do you know like 3 rep max, 1 rep max, deadlift, squat, anything like that?
No. It's also that after the sickness of 3 months of doing nothing, it's it have been a long road coming back to strength,
Hmm.
coming back to the numbers, and I just had to accept that yes, I lost a lot of strength. I did. And so I haven't really focused on exactly what's on my bar when I lift. I've been focusing on challenging myself and that I constantly improve weeks for after weeks, sessions after session. And I had to just accept that when I started training that yes, this is where I am now.
Yeah.
So my squat felt really heavy and it felt like I could barely do a strict pull up. And so it have been very, very hard to accept that yes, I'm not as strong as I was before the sickness, but I'm so much stronger mentally.
Good.
So I mean, that's what I can take from all this.
Hmm.
So I have a lot of like pure mental strength from this period. And I think that, and I will use it this season. Even though I'm right now don't have the exact same numbers in strength wise, I will work for it and I will get back. But I just felt that I can't push it and stress it.
Hmm.
I have to accept where I am. And then as long as I'm improving, then I'm doing something right. And that's the only thing I can do, actually.
Yeah. I presumably you saw like the elite set up for this year in HYROX and the changes, and there'll be like 4 majors and an elite race at the World Championships. How are you feeling about those changes, and are you planning on competing at all the majors?
Of course. So I love the new structure and love that it's more competitions, and it feels like the sport has really improved now with this structure. So my goal is to do all the Myers, and of course, hopefully the worlds. I will do everything I can to get a spot there. So that's the plan for sure.
Do you feel like you can see a day where you can be full time in this sport and it's professionalized and the elite guys are making a living out of this?
I want to believe in it.
Yeah.
And but it's all about like finding it's all about money, I have to say. So I hope so, and I hope the sport will grow that much that it will be possible, because it is hard, and it's hard in CrossFit also. Like you put in so many hours to it, and it is a big difference for those who have to work simultaneous and for those who doesn't. Stress is a stress,
Yeah.
and it's very, it takes from your recovery for sure. So if that's possible, yeah, I hope it will be, and I will work for it to be, and that's my dream for sure.
Okay. Um, you broke the world record last year with Megan in the doubles as well. Do you have plans to do more doubles in this upcoming season?
Oh, that would be so much fun. But hopefully this time I'm healthy. I actually did that world record with her when I had the myocarditis.
Wow.
So it was a horrible experience for me, and I shouldn't have done that race afterwards now. But we broke the record, that's for sure. And I would love to do more double race. Also, like, yeah, double race, woman, woman, also men, woman. So yeah, I'm up for it.
Okay. All right, great. What's your we talked about the your visit to the games. Is that your sporting highlight lifetime, or does something else jump out at you?
From my CrossFit,
From your whole life, what's been your sporting highlight?
oh, I have so many good memories. I can't pick one. Really, I can't pick one. I had such amazing experience in Dubai several years in a row, and CrossFit Game was amazing. Other competitions, I can't pick one. I'm so sorry. I feel lucky when I think back of my CrossFit career, how many amazing events and competitions I've been to, and met so many amazing people. So I'm super thankful for so many experience. But of course, CrossFit Games was like the top of the top of, for sure, for sure.
What about the toughest thing that you've done in sport?
But I will never forget actually the CrossFit Games event when we were running with the rope. We were running all 4 people with a rope, and first we were all 4, and then you had to drop off 2 people. So we were running all 4, and then it was me and Alex, um, going straight from the first loop with all 4, and then we went straight to the next loop with 2 people. And I was in front and he was in back, and he got pretty tired, and I was like pulling him with a rope in a terrain, running, and Alex is like 100 kilo man, and my mom my mom texted me after the event and said like, your legs looked so heavy when you run. I've never seen you like that. I was like, it was pure pain.
I was pulling a
Which was
100-kilogram
an
man.
uphill with a 100-kilo man behind me in a rope and trying to like run my ass off. Of course, my legs is hurting.
Well,
So
we can do a mixed doubles, and you can pull me round HYROX.
yeah, I wanted to win.
um, uh, what shoe? I've got lots of like quick fire questions, but one is what shoe are you wearing at HYROX? What do you wear during the race at the moment?
I wear the Rocket X Hoka shoe.
Okay, has that got enough grip for you on the sleds and so on?
Yeah, the new model is great. It's a lot better grip, I think. But I think I'm almost the only one I've seen wearing hookah.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but I guess someone have to be the first one, right?
yeah. Might be the secret. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's the best song to work out to?
Oh, I'm the super boring one that never cares about music.
Oh, okay.
When I do all my running and everything, I never run with music. I and when I have music, I just listen to whatever's in the gym. And I'm really the kind of person that says like put on whatever you want, as long as it's not like Celine Dion slow chill out music, then I'm happy. So I'm pretty easy one at that one. And but I think it's also sadly that I don't have so much of a music interest. So put whatever you want on and let's go for a session. That's me.
Okay. All right. Is there do you have like a hero or anyone you look up to, like in life or in the world of sport? Anyone jump out at you from that perspective?
I think I've always been just inspired of everyone hunting to like chasing their dreams, whatever it is. It could be like it doesn't have to be sports. Just trying to believe that you can do what you want and like working your ass for getting there, even though it might not even be possible. Just believe in yourself. And I just I think I can find motivation in different kinds of humans, uh, with just the yeah with their thinking of like yeah striving for something or believing in themselves. So I don't have like one person. I think I just collect motivation from different kinds of areas. um, and I think like we're all more or less the same, even though you want something that is not within sports, you want something in a different area. It's still the same process. It's still the work has to be done, and nothing really comes for free. So I think that's just what I get motivated of.
Okay. All right. Um, and then my last question is, if you were going to put a message out on a billboard for all the world to see, what would it say?
That you should believe in yourself and believe in that you can. And I would also say that what I always think about is that the only thing I can do is to do my best,
Mhm.
and then I can be happy. So as long as you put in and do your best, that's the only thing you can do. And just never stop believe that it's possible.
Love it. Perfect. All right, brilliant. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing this. It's been fantastic. I'm so pleased that you're feeling good again. You're on the road to recovery. You're competing again. Looking forward to seeing what you can do in the upcoming season. Is there anything else, A, that you want to talk about, or B, that, you know, where should we send people to if they want to find out more about you? Is it follow you on Instagram? What's best place?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. It's my name, Norman Mikaela. I think that's probably the best way. Um, I try to update as much as I can about my journey and everything. So yeah, you can find me there for sure.
Okay. All right, perfect. Well, thank you, and yeah, I'll hopefully catch you at a race sometime in the season.
Thank you so much
All
for
right,
everything.
all right. Thank you. Take care, everyone.